Okay, so I'm not the best looking, but I got ideas.
I know. Well, that's what I felt. I wasn't entirely sure even where to start because your work is so prolific.
Yeah.
You've covered so many different areas and so many areas that I would like to kind of cover with
But,
you.
but, but actually, all my research is on one thing. On one thing. How to transform suffering into flourishing. How to
Yes.
transform bad things in life into your benefits. That's all I do, one thing.
Well, that I think is probably a good area to start with. But I'll just give you a very quick kind of recap of what the project's about. So
Sorry, just at this point, sorry, I'm going to turn my camera off so that I can be typing and taking notes. Maybe at the end I'll have some questions. But yeah, it'll be easier for me to.
And also, I'm sorry that I have a Chinese accent, so I hope you understand me.
I have a South African accent, and yeah, so we all
I
have
try
I
to,
have a Scottish
I try
accent.
to, I try to speak slowly and clearly.
Perfect, thank you. So yeah, just to recap, we are working with on this, exciting project, which is really looking at how we can help individuals achieve kind of greater mental well-being, just better wellness overall. And so we are engaged in research with people in the US, in the UK, and in France to understand their habits, their ambitions within this space. But we've been looking across many different aspects of wellness, physical, financial, spiritual, and are really interested in also what the opportunities for technology might be to help individuals in their quest, I suppose, to move from kind of negative to positive and get that. So I guess again, your work is vast, but as you said, it's focused on one area or one ultimate purpose. So maybe to start us off, you could just take us through your research and your thoughts on where the opportunities really are.
Okay. I've gone through a lot of suffering, okay? Born in China during the wartime and civil war, as a refugee in Hong Kong, as an immigrant in Canada. So I have suffered a great deal, okay? So therefore, all my research is trying to answer one question. How can I harness the power of suffering? How can I transform suffering into my strength, into flourishing? Okay, so I'm asking one question. And I have done lots of research, from animal research to clinical research to neurological research. All my research support my thesis. That is, suffering can make you better rather than bitter. Suffering can make you stronger rather than kills you. Wow, that's exciting research. Is there suffering is bad, unwanted, it's bad. It can make you depressed, make you commit suicide. I'm saying that if you have a better understanding of what suffering is, suffering can transform you. So my research is about the transformative power of suffering. That sounds good? Sounds exciting?
Tell me more.
but nobody pay attention to those things. Everybody talk about happiness. This is the problem of suffering. He is a prophet of doom. So I'm the voice in the wilderness. Nobody will listen to me. Now, let me tell you a little bit early research. My early research has shown that deprived and hungry rats will always defeat the well-fed rats. The animals they are from our average child experience during when they're very young, when they're deprived, they always perform better than rats that are well-fed. They are part of human. America lost the war in Vietnam and Afghanistan. Do you know why? A hungry army, a deprived army, always beat a well-fed army. They haven't learned the lesson yet. You know, an angry and deprived and hungry army always prevail over a well-fed, loving comfort kind of army. In life, the same thing. So, in China, our problem in China, it says that if you do not suffer, you can never be fully human. If you're able to suffer the most, then you can be the best. I was brought up with that kind of philosophy. But that is totally unpopular in North America. North America say, oh, be happy, be happy. You know the children. I see young children. I have clients who were brought up by rich families. They are like babies. They don't know how to make decisions. They are free of difficulty. They're totally useless. They're like oversized babies. I mean, my heart aches. Their parents never taught them how to face suffering, how to endure suffering, how to transform suffering. They protect them from suffering. They produce children. Yes.
What you say there about, I guess, suffering is human. To suffer is to be human. And
yeah, but I'm saying that in China, you'll be able to face suffering, you can be fully human. In other words, suffering is an inescapable part of life. It's inherent. I suffer from my wife. I suffer from my children. I suffer from pandemic. I suffer from my cancer. I suffer from everything.
When you say to face it, I'm really interested to understand. To face it, is that a mindset shift to recognize and face your suffering, also to then be able to move and use that to your power?
Okay, let me tell you, okay. Suffering is inescapable, suffering is unavoidable, okay? That's a fact. Suffering is a fact of life. That's Buddha's first noble truth. Life is suffering. In Christianity, it says that in this world, you have trouble, you have suffering. And Jesus comes so that he can bear all the suffering, take all the wounding for us, so that we can be free from suffering. So all religions promise a way to be free from suffering. But science is behind. Science does not study mindfulness, but mindfulness is a small part of Buddhism. Psychology, medicine, still treating suffering as something bad, okay? What I'm saying that if you ask yourself a different question, how can we make suffering work for you? How can you transform suffering? How can you turn suffering into your benefit? Wow, that completely changed everything. So the first thing to do, suffering might be good for you. The first thing to ask, tell yourself that suffering might be good for you. Okay. Now, in terms of science of well-being is how to measure the benefits of suffering, in terms of clinical psychology and science of well-being, how to implement habits that can transform suffering into well-being. That is huge, like huge field. Let me tell you something, okay? High-tech people from Silicon Valley, okay, and to Twitter, to Carnegie Mellon, they all interview me to pick my ideas, but nobody is willing to partner with me how to implement through technology. See, I believe that there should be no lonely people, no people should be depressed, no people should kill themselves if we know how to harness technology to help people. But everybody interested in picking ideas, but nobody interested in working with me how to really implement that. So that's why when you guys contact me and say, well, maybe you guys will listen to me carefully, try to work with me. But really
you talk about the 12 keys to unlocking the power of meaning and healing.
I can tell you all that. I'll tell you my vision for about technology. I believe there should not be any lonely people. There should be nobody commit suicide. If we're able to harness the power of technology to make it into iPhone and into app that people can, whenever they're in trouble, they just click a button, they got instant help. So right now, I'm helping many people, but I'm expensive as a psychologist. You see me, you pay at least $20 an hour to talk to me. Okay? But I want to make this free available through technology, but nobody want to partner with me. That's the thing. Okay? Now, you ask for 12 steps, okay?
So what I would like to say is that I really acknowledge what you're saying about your kind of bigger ambition to kind of rid the world of all of the sufferings, and that's something maybe we can come back to at the end, because at the moment I do want to get your ideas and leverage that wonderful insight and understanding that you have in how we can transfer or transform kind of suffering into flourishing. So I am going to be that person that says, yes, I hear you, but tell me more.
Well, everybody asks the same question. They say they can get ideas, they can do it themselves. The first thing is that, as a scientist, the first thing is measurement, right? How to measure the benefits of suffering, okay? How to measure the benefit, see, okay? Second thing, some research now, I'm not going to give you the quick tips on the science of well-being, okay? How to measure. The first step is how to change your mindset, say, suffering could be good for me. That's the first step. Suffering could be good for me. Before you kill yourself, before you so depressed, simple, well, all these bad things, it could be my opportunity. It could be good for me. So,
and have you found any strategies or approaches that help people shift that mindset from suffering is bad to suffering as my
yeah, of course I have. I'm talking the first step first, okay? Everybody apply by the time of science. You have to be measure, for example, suffering and a problem. You will either see a problem as a problem or a problem as challenge. You know, in Nature, there's a big paper saying that, real appraisal is a big factor to help people cope with COVID-19. I think that a long time ago, that you view that as a challenge, reframe it. Any problem, you can reframe it as a challenge rather than difficulty. You talk to any person, they're too difficult, they're too difficult, there's a problem. You change your mindset, there's a lot of scientific research on that. You say,
it reminds me of, I guess, the growth mindset research. A kind of growth mindset.
Yeah, that good mindset, that's part of it, okay? Basically, any problem, rather see that as a problem, see that as a challenge, reappraisal. It's not growth mindset. I mean, people only know about growth mindset, but this is more than growth mindset, more powerful than growth mindset. Means view every problem, reappraise it as a challenge. Okay? So that's the first step. Develop measurement of that. There are a lot of scientific research say reappraisal can change problem into opportunity. Reappraisal, the challenge, I can do it, okay? There's a lot of research about, okay? Second thing, stop running, but start facing. Not stop. See, biologists tell us fight or flight. But in life, we can just fight. Right? Either fight, either escape or fight. That's animal kingdom. Now we're living in a civilized society. Okay? You can fight everybody, right? So I'm saying that stop running, start facing. Do you want to?
But I guess like facing our opportunities is difficult. It's hard.
Of course, difficult. Just be patient, okay? Just be patient, okay? You could. Do you know what? Most of the mental illness are caused by people trying to avoid and run away from problems. That's the anxiety, worry, depression. They're trying to escape. Something that's inescapable. You can tell people, some of my clients say, oh, only if I can go to Japan to relax, I'll be better. Oh, only if I say, my friend, you cannot escape from yourself.
That's what my mum tells me all the time.
You cannot, Eleanor, you cannot escape from yourself. You cannot run away from your inside prison. You cannot run away. You are full of doubts, full of insecurity, full of fear. You can't run away from that. So stop running. Stop running away. Because running away is, the more you run, so the dog barking at you. You run, the dog chases after you. But you stay on the ground, face the dog will go away. So there's psychology to support my idea that the more you run, the more scared you are.